What's up, Facebook? Good to see you. DK here, hanging out with two really amazing people, much more amazing than me. So I'm going to showcase them. I'm just going to shut up and let them talk the whole time. Sheridan, what's up? Celeste, good to see you. Thank you guys for taking time away from your family to hang out here with me. And great to have you guys here. So tonight we're going to be talking about whatever comes to mind, but I think it's going to have to do with health and wealth and all of the things in between. And we've been sharing this, fun little doodad right here that's helping people with their metabolic health. And I know we all have some really good stories when it comes to that. I want to take, before we get there, um, Celeste, you said something earlier in one of the chats that I know, we're talking about health here, but you said something that literally I literally just chuckled when you're like, I freaking love this company. you know? If you
Do.
could talk about in reference to like what that was and what had you so fired up for this business. Like why was that a feel good moment for you? And we'll kind of talk about what actually happened today too.
Okay, so I have been around the block a time or two with different companies, starting, with Beachbody, and like I have done so many different things. And never have I come across a group of people that care so much and like completely go out of their way to help other people succeed.
Mm,
And I feel like that's like the bottom line for most people is they really just care about not only people's health, but like their wealth and just overall success. And so the fact that like people are completely dropping their schedules to go and meet up with people or jump on lives or whatever that is, people that I mean, I've never even met you guys in person, like a couple months ago, I didn't even know who you were, Sheridan, but like people are just like totally going out of their way to support and help people. And I just love that. I love that.
yeah. So I'll paint a little picture of what we're talking about here. So one of the guys on my team, Gary, and super shout out to Gary if Gary ends up watching. I'm sure he will at some point, or a lot of you guys know Gary if you guys are on our team. Gary ranked up last month in September and hit a bunch of different milestones, a bunch of different ranks in the company. He qualified for something called the method. You guys don't know what it is, but the method in our business is basically like, and Sheridan, tell me if I'm saying this correctly, but it's basically like this really intimate kind of unique training held by the CEO where he teaches you really amazing things that are life changing. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
yeah, it's a complete game changer. So it's a 2-day mindset training, and
Mm,
he goes in and dives into a whole host of things. Like people pay money to go to, I can't even, I'm blanking the guy's name, Tony
Tony
Robbins.
Robbins.
Like
Yeah.
people go and to these conferences to be taught all of this stuff, and the CEO does it for free. He goes and travels around the globe, like days at a time, just to try and teach these our teams. Not just, it's not about business, like it's there's very little aspect of business into it. It is deep, like core mindset training, how you can improve your life. I mean, people go to get motivated by different things. He's teaching you how to motivate yourself to
Mhm.
become a different person. And it's completely changed my life. Like I couldn't tell you how insecure I was before. Like, if people knew me before, I've completely changed. And part of that, a huge aspect of that, is because of the method. So
Yep.
it's amazing that he got, I mean, I couldn't say more about it.
So Gary quals and Gary literally just got started, I think, the very beginning of September. So to be able to go through and qualify for it in his very first month was awesome. He also qualified for the cruise. And the cruise is right around the corner. So I think he's going to get like the airfare and the hotel room and the cruise and all that other stuff. So he's obviously, jump started his business. So back to the story last night, he literally texts me at like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. my time. And all it is just, it's literally just a picture of the Unicity headquarters in Vegas. And it looks like the picture was taken from the parking lot. And I'm like, dude, are you at the headquarters right now? I text him back. He's like, yeah. I was like, are you trying to take like a tour? He's like, I'd love to, but the door's locked. I was like, well, you know, you're there after hours, but I was like, are you interested in actually taking the tour? And he goes, that would be amazing. I said, okay, well, what's your schedule tomorrow? Are you around in the morning? He said, yes. So I hit up Joe, who happens to be Sheridan's husband. I said, listen, I know this is last minute, but you guys live what, like 15 minutes from there, roughly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hit up Joe and I say, listen, I know this is a big ask, but one of my guys is in Vegas. He's there for one night and he wants to tour the corporate office tomorrow. I'm like, are you available to meet him over there? If not, like, who can I get in touch with? And he's like, and Joe literally stops everything and goes, dude, he's like, I got this. I'm going to roll out the red carpet for him. I'll take him through a tour. I'll hook him up. I'm just like, how freaking awesome is that for you guys? And you were there too, Sheridan. Like both of you guys literally just stopped everything you were doing to help somebody on my team. And Gary is several people down from me, several people down from you. And you guys completely bent over backwards. You met him, you met his wife, you took him for a tour. I mean, thank you guys so much for that. And I know, like, you know, when Celeste and Shannon and so many others found this out, you guys were like, how awesome is this company and how awesome are these people that we get to work with? So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's honestly one of the best things about this is everyone is helping each other out. We all want to see each other succeed. And I think it's because there's a deeper purpose behind what we're doing. And it's just a genuine, like trying to make society better, like
Yeah.
at a global scale. We want to just try and impact 1%. Like that's kind of been our thing. It's just, let's just try and get 1%. And if we can get 1%, we've succeeded.
Yep. Yeah, I see more people jumping on the Facebook, guys, on the live stream. Do me a favor, drop a comment. Where is everybody from? Would love to give you a shout out. I'm here in Myrtle Beach. Earlier today, I was saying it's sunny, beautiful Myrtle Beach. Now it's a little chilly Myrtle Beach because the sun went down. But where's everybody from? Pop a comment in there so we can give you guys a shout out. And I mean, I agree with that too. Is, you know, for me and Celeste, you can share your thoughts on this as well, because for me, I never ever thought of doing a physical product, being in business with a physical product. I've always done the digital thing. And this was a total game changer for me. And I scoffed at this at first. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I ended up watching one of the science calls and it was just kind of like mind blown moment. Like if this thing even does half of the stuff that I'm hearing on the science call, like I want in. I was still like, I'm not sure about the business yet, but I want in. And then I was like, let me get a product experience in. Before I share this with anyone, let me try it for myself. And then, you know, a lot of you guys know the story. Started dropping weight really, really fast. I'm now 7+ weeks into it. I'm down almost 22 pounds. Everything has been feeling great. My sleep's been getting better. My mood's been getting better. My energy's been increasing. I haven't craved any snacks in the afternoon, which is absolutely awesome. And every single person that I started sharing this with is also seeing positive results. So it was just like, I've had this like huge realization in the last couple of months that like I get to positively affect people's lives, not just financially. For years, it was like, hey, join my Make Money Online opportunity. And like this many people like actually made it. And now it's like everybody that's touching this is like, oh my God, I'm losing weight. Like, oh, I just lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks. Oh, my A1C just went down, you know, 5.7 to 5.1. Oh my gosh, I'm sleeping better. Oh my gosh, I have more energy. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And every single person is getting a result. And for me, like, you hear a lot about in the Make Money Online space about like compensation plans and, you know, how much income you can make and all this other stuff. And it's almost, I don't want to say like, I don't care about the comp plan because I know the money's there, but it's like, it's so cool to have everybody that starts like 1,000% batting average, everyone that starts have a great product experience. And I've never experienced that before. So Celeste, I want to kick it over to you because like, I know like you've kind of gone down a similar path as I did, where it's like, everything's digital. And then all of a sudden it's like, now you're doing a physical product. How has that experience been for you?
I mean, it's been great. it's not the first time I've done a physical product. I've done other physical products in the past, but never had a ton of success, obviously, because I kept looking for the next best thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Constantly shopping, so to speak.
yeah, yeah. I mean, one thing I did have success for, but the second I stopped, like everything it had done for me completely reversed, you know? And so like um knowing that this is actually doing something that is changing people's lives, saving people's lives,
Yeah.
that that's so huge because even if, I mean, I don't know very many people that would stop, but even if they did, their lives, I feel like, would still be changed. Like their health is so much better.
Yeah.
And that, like, I mean, that's just huge. Like going from one product that's like, you stop doing this, you miss out on all the benefits. And those benefits weren't even all that great. Like it wasn't changing my health. It wasn't doing anything like that. It was just making me lose weight.
Yeah.
And so it just this I love that it like actually heals and is getting to the root cause of everybody's problems and fixing those things and um or making them better. Um so I just I love it. I
Yeah.
really do.
I think that's one of the things that, I post a good amount of content on, whether it be here on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok and stuff. And it's like, I'll be talking about this, and whether it's anything to do with insulin resistance, it could be skin tags or whatever. We'll just use skin tags as the example. And some people are just like, oh, I just use dental floss. Like they literally tie a knot around them and like, and then yank them off and stuff like that. And I'm like, number one, I'm like, ow. Two, it's like, and this is the stuff I comment. And Celeste, you just said this exactly. It doesn't get to the root cause. I've seen people say like, oh, I'll just use nail polish or use dental floss or use whatever. It's like, you're not addressing the root cause. You're not fixing the problem from the inside out. And Sheridan, you have way more experience in this arena than we do. You've been with the company longer. Can you kind of give like a quick insulin resistance snapshot and like, just kind of give a quick overview of like everything that this you've seen that how this has helped with people?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna, I guess I could share my screen too, but I don't know which one you want me to do. But I love showing this picture because we look at all of these issues, and I don't know if it's backwards for people, but we look at like issues like fatty liver, gout, Alzheimer's disease, obesity, arthritis, mental illness, inflammation, heart disease. We look at them as all separate issues, but when you step out and take a look at the whole picture, insulin resistance is the reason why all of these issues are happening. And so when you can address insulin resistance at the root cause, that's when you can help manage, you can help fix, you can help address those issues. But if you're constantly working from the outside in, you never get to that root cause. So the problem with that is 93% of people are metabolically unhealthy, which is insulin resistance at the core. So a quick kind of overview.
Can I
Insulin
can I
resistance.
stop you right there for a
Yeah,
second? I heard another percentage on top of that one, which, correct me if I'm wrong here, but
yeah,
like 93% of people are dealing with insulin resistance. But the crazy fact that I heard, and I don't know if this is accurate, but 80% of the people that have insulin resistance don't even know it.
yeah. So that's, yeah, diabetes. So one out of three people are pre-diabetic,
Yep.
and 8 out of 10 of them don't even know that they have it,
Yeah.
which Daniel is super crazy. Kirsty, she just found out she got her blood work done and realized she was pre-diabetic, and now she's no longer pre-diabetic. But her
Which is
doctor,
crazy because she's like super healthy
yeah, I mean, she
and goes
looks
to the gym all the time.
right, but her doctor never even said anything. And so that's the crazy part, is that we don't hear about all of these things until it's too late, until it's like, hey, we need to put you on this, we need to put you on that. And so we're just managing all of this where they put you on one thing and hey, there's side effects of that. So we need to, hey, but we have a medicine for that. So here's a medication for this. Here's the side effect. Oh, there's a medication for that side effect. And it just continues to go in this hamster wheel. So to get out of that, we need to address two things of how insulin resistance happens. It's how often we're eating and controlling those glucose spikes. And so that's what this system does, is it helps control or helps you do some intermittent fasting. So no snacking. Again, I tell people like, okay, if you're going to have 3 meals, have 3 meals. If you can have two, even better, but no snacking. Okay. And do you want me to go through the products too?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the product first is this Unimate. So it's a concentrated
guy.
yerba mate. Yes. So you just dump it in a bottle of water, you sip on it. It helps quiet the food noise. So you're not feeling like you need to snack. You're controlling your cravings. But there's so many plant properties in here that help with inflammation. They help with brain clarity, ketone production. Like I seriously could geek out on all of the science of what this does. But all you need to know is that it helps you not to snack and it makes it even more beneficial.
Can I jump in on that real quick?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, for me, prior to using the Unimate, which is what you're talking about here, for me, I would always, lunch around 12 or 1 o'clock, dinner around 6-ish, give or take. 3, 4 o'clock, I'm always in the pantry looking at, nuts, pretzels, what's left over in the fridge that I can take a couple of bites of. Like there was always a constant afternoon snack, or is I was always going for that afternoon iced coffee. I'm going to let you in on a fact, and I cannot believe I'm sharing this number. I cannot believe I'm sharing this number. So if you guys aren't familiar with, and this is a quick tangent off of what you're talking about, but it ties in. You guys familiar with over here on the East Coast, a coffee company called Seven Brew?
No.
If you're not, okay. They got like 500 locations. They're probably like a Tim Hortons or a Dunkin' Donuts, but they're like the Chick-fil-A of coffee. You go there and they got the loud music and there's the kids that come up and take your order with the iPads and it's like an experience, but their coffee's great. So, and you get on a reward system. Every so often you go, you get a free coffee and whatever. And a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were there, and she's like, "Oh, you guys have a free coffee?" And we're like, "Oh, we always wait till we get two, and then we take advantage." And she's like, "Do you want to know how many coffees you've gotten here?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I'm thinking it's like a couple hundred. And she's like, "Yeah, you guys have ordered 1,100 coffees." And I was just like, "Stop. Just oh, I I I did not want to know that number. I didn't want to know it." So my wife and I we're like, just go, just drive,
Oh my gosh, that's
So here's the
1,100.
crazy part is, since I've been using this, for a little over 7 weeks now, like I think we've gotten like maybe 3 iced coffees, maybe. So we've gone way down, and there's absolutely no afternoon snacking at all. It's like I eat my lunch and I eat my dinner, and that's literally it since I've been taking this. So
Well, and
iced
think
coffee in
how
the
much
afternoon.
money you're saving too.
Oh,
Like,
1,100?
yeah, how much is one
1,100.
of those?
And it's like $6 a coffee. So please no one do the math. I don't want to know.
I'm gonna do
Please don't do the math. But yes, we've saved a lot of money too.
That's crazy.
Okay, I'm
And
done.
that's one thing too that people don't realize, like how much money they're spending on snacks and all of these foods that are, one, damaging their health. And two, again, they're just spending all of that money. So people who have been on like fixed incomes, I mean, I could tell you a story, multiple stories of people who have been on fixed incomes who are spending thousands of dollars on doctors and medications, and they realize or think that they can't do this, but then they do it and end up saving even more. So it's not even just cost neutral, it's saving people money because of what they were doing before.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, so speaking of costs, I was literally looking the other night at every now and then it's like people always ask, like, where do I get it in my videos? Like, and I'm sure you guys have seen this too. Like, where do I get it? How much is it? Whatever. And I give them the site. And then, people will be like, "Oh, well, that's expensive." And I was like, expensive? I'm like, I'm literally looking at the Zempic website right now, and at the lowest dose starts at $500 a month. Like you can do this for about $5 a day, which by the way was less than my coffee habit. Thank you. Um, and all of these Govi, Jaro, Zempic, they all start at $500 a month. And it's the crazy part is people will happily pay that. But $159 is expensive. I think to me, it just comes down to priorities. Like you either want to improve your health, you want to do it in a safe and natural and effective way, or you don't, So,
Well, and what I tell people too is like, think about it like a grocery bill. Like that's what I tell everybody because I forgot to talk about the second part of this, but this yerba mate, again, how many of us have our favorite drinks? We have our Coke, we have our coffee, we have whatever it is. Everybody has their like go-to drink. This is as cheap or cheaper than your coffee, your Starbucks, whatever it is. And it's going to improve your health. But the other part of this is the fiber, which I honestly attribute massively to helping heal my gut and my mental health issues that I've struggled with most of my life. But this is like salad in a packet. So how much would you spend, like even going to a restaurant, you can't spend less than $5 on a salad or some sort of healthy option to eat before your meal. This, it's $1.70. It's like salad in a packet. You have it right before you eat and it controls the blood sugar spike, helps heal your gut. And with cholesterol, I mean, there's so many benefits to it. So that's the system, but it's, again, I treat it like a grocery bill.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't realize too is, when you are using a GLP-1, whether it's synthetic or it's all natural, you're going to be eating less. So if you're eating 3 meals now, you're probably going to go down to 2, maybe even 1. I don't know about you guys, I've had several days over like the last 7 weeks where I've gone till 5 or 6 o'clock, and my wife's like, "Have you eaten today?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." But I didn't miss it. I didn't skip on purpose. I just kind of like got going with my day, and it was all of a sudden it's like, oh, I should probably eat,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't try to do 1 meal a day too often, but I do try and hit some like 24-hour fast because again, people get scared of, am I gonna lose muscle or am I gonna, is this good for the body? Our bodies actually need time without the input of food, and they can do incredible healing when we do that. And I've honestly been able to maintain my weight, my health. I've actually gained muscle by doing this. And so it's, you can do it in a way, and women need to do it a little bit differently with hormones, but your body needs breaks from food. We can't be feeding it 6 times a day throughout the day. We want to, address
Well,
how. Yeah.
that's like a common misconception. A lot of people think I have to feed myself so that I can have the energy. I can't fast that long. I'm going to be like dead, like no energy, not be able to function. But it's totally the opposite. That's what our bodies thrive off of.
Yeah. I mean,
really quick. I see we got more people jumping on board here, guys. Drop a comment. I'd like to know where everybody's from. If you're feeling brave, don't be shy. Let's get the algorithm going here, guys. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Would love to give you a shout out. Myrtle Beach here, and then Utah and
Las Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, you guys are in Vegas. I don't know why I had a brain fart and thought Colorado for a second. I was like, no, wait, you're outside of Vegas.
But along those lines too is I was taking 2 to 3 naps a day, and I thought I had to eat to have energy, but I didn't realize that what I was doing was causing my fatigue, my brain fog, my depression, like all of that. So now that I am doing this, I no longer take naps. I have more energy. I'm off all my antidepressants. Like it's been life-changing.
I got a pop quiz for the people watching, and if you're daring enough, pop a comment in there. I know you guys know the answer to this, but is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Let us know in the comments. What are your thoughts? Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? If so, if you think it is, I'd like to know why. Probably because your parents told you, probably because their grandparents told you, whatever. But I learned some. It's crazy when, when you get started in a new business or you start, whether it's eating a certain way, a certain diet, keto, carnivore, whatever, you start taking certain supplements, products, whatever. It's like you just end up doing your own natural research and you end up learning all this new stuff. And I never realized that phrase, that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, um, was a catchphrase and it had no medical bearing whatsoever. Um, it was a phrase. And if anyone doesn't know this, you can look it up, ChatGPT, Google. Um, it was actually a phrase that was started by Kellogg's to sell breakfast, to sell oats and cereals. But it just kind of became like a catchphrase that's lasted for decades. You know what I mean? It's like you even hear it on TV shows. It's like, you know, I'll reference Grey's Anatomy, like they're running out of Meredith's house in the morning. They're like, oh, I got to grab my apple. I got to grab my bowl of cereal. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I'm like, no, it's not. But it just kind of gets ingrained. And, when you think about fasting, when you think about skipping meals, if you kind of take away the last 100 years, we as human beings have been fasting for like 6,000 documented years. Hundreds of years ago, I mean, people would go days without eating, as they're foraging and scavenging for food, and you get into the 21st century and it's like, oh, no, 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 no. You got to eat your breakfast. You got to have your cereal. You got to have your Pop-Tarts. You got to have your oats. You got to have all this processed stuff. And it's just completely contradicts everything that's happened for thousands of years. So anyway, I'm going to jump off my soapbox, um, but
I mean, I think that it's so funny how we see people now say you shouldn't be doing it when for, again, like you said, thousands of years we've lived this way. And so again, yes, we have more technology. Yes, we have more health, like we're living longer, but are we seeing that living longer in a way that you want to live? Like I watched a video just recently doing a side by side of like a 70 or 80-year-old man, going for a bike ride or in a wheelchair or,
mhm.
Taking a sip of, playing around with his grandkid or having someone feed him. It's how are you living out those lives, your life, in those later years. And you don't have to be stuck on a ventilator. You don't have to be stuck on medications. You can, I mean, I am healthier now than I have been my entire life. And
Mm.
it's incredible. So you can, and I thought I was going to struggle again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So you can change and help improve your health. You're not, it's not just you. You can help improve it. And I hate to use I try not to use the word reverse just because of, you can't make claims, but if you do this, things can improve.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of documented cases of that too, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Celeste, I want to kick it over to you. What in like the past 2 months, what has been your biggest aha moment, either, with the business, with the product, both? What would you say, like, as, you just were like,
I mean, a lot of things. I'll just share a little bit of story with just using the product, first of all. So like I said, been around the block, tried a bunch of different things, have struggled with my weight just since I have 4 kids. And since having kids, I've struggled with my weight and always wanting to get healthy. And I've always been about the natural kind of stuff. I don't really like toxins and all of that. But no matter what I tried, like nothing was working. And so I was to the point where I was like trying to find an alternative to a GLP-1 because I couldn't afford to do a regular one. And I didn't really like the regular ones either. Like I didn't want to put that into my body. Um, but still like just feeling at a loss because I didn't want to live this way forever. And I was having a lot of different weird things happening, but at the same time, not really understanding that they were that weird because it's just chalked up to, oh, you're going through perimenopause, you're getting older, this is normal. Um, so like things like I have really, really struggled with swelling in my feet for years, and even like fire. My feet always felt like they were on fire. Even in college, I remember going and sticking my feet in the tub full of cold water just so that they weren't so hot. And like my hair was falling out and breaking off really, really bad. I like having longer hair, but it would break off so bad that I'd have to continually cut it. And brain fog like crazy to the point where like you hear funny stories of women going through perimenopause where they like walk out of the house wearing no shoes or I've even heard stories of women walking out and looking down and being like, oh, I should probably turn around and go put my pants on. Like they just like brain fog issues like that, like walking out and wearing my slippers or not even being able to remember certain things. And just it was normal, it was natural, but also knowing that it didn't have to be like, I'm sure there was something out there that was going to help it. I just didn't know what that was. And so when this came about, it was more business related for me at the beginning because of Kirsty and following her and you, Daniel, for such a long time, being involved with you guys and really trusting her and the things that she finds. But her excitement was like contagious, I think, to all of us. Like she was so excited about this and was like, you guys have got to do this. And then, we're looking into it and I was like, yeah, I really want to try that. But just even though it was business related, this has helped me out so much more than I ever imagined it could, to the point like I haven't lost as much weight as you have, Daniel, but I've lost 12 pounds in about the same amount of time, about 7 weeks.
That's
And yeah, not bad, not bad. And 3 inches off my waist. So that one I'm excited about.
That's
Um,
yeah. I mean, it's not always the scale that shows off what's really going on.
yeah. And like the swelling in my feet has gone down dramatically. Not 100% gone yet, but it's only been 2 months.
Mhm.
But I can almost see my ankles, which is huge. That's like huge. My hair loss has stopped and the breakage, it's not breaking off as much. My brain fog is gone. I'm sleeping better. Like I don't have any hot flashes or anything like that at night. So just the overall I just feel so much better. I feel lighter. I don't feel inflamed. Um, and just being able to think clearly, have so much energy, I can get through my day. I didn't feel like I had to take a nap all the time, but it was like, oh, I'd go and do the things that I had to do every single day. But by 4 o'clock, I was like, yeah, I'm done. And I'd have to sit down and I sat the rest of the day. And I don't feel like that anymore. Like I can keep on going. I can still like I feel really good. And I love it. Like it has been life changing. And not only that, but it's like helping my family members. Like my grandma has IBS and it's helping her with that. I have an uncle who is doing this who was struggling with heart issues. And since he before he started this, his heart was skipping every fourth beat. And since doing this, it doesn't do that anymore. It hits all its beats. And just I like that's amazing to me that these two little products that are so easy to put into anybody's routine can make such a huge difference.
Yeah,
So
that is amazing. That is amazing. And I will quickly I want to share a quick Kirsty story too because her and I have known each other for about 5 years now, give or take. And whatever we've done over the years, even if it's just like something simple with the business, could be a funnel, could be a training, could be a whatever it is. We've always just kind of like, bounce things off each other. Even if it's just, whatever it is. And she she got into this before I did, and she's the one that introduced it to me. And like at first I kind of nope, don't want to do a physical product. No interest whatsoever, right? And then she's like, okay, cool. Well, just that's fine. Just watch this. This is what I saw. And, as soon as I saw that, she's like, I just knew instantly. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I watched it, but then she left me a voicemail, and the voicemail that she left me was, you know, that is really kind of what got my attention because, like I said, for years, we've always just kind of bounced ideas, thoughts, vibes, whatever off each other, when it relates to business. And she just said, listen, I don't know if you're coming with me or not. I don't care. I'm doing this anyway. I am so freaking excited about this. I love this. I can't believe like this person's getting a result. This person's getting a result. She's like, this is absolutely blowing me away. And if anyone on our team does this or not, I don't care. I'm moving forward with this. And that I was like, damn, like, okay, I'm going to pay a little more attention to this now, because like just hearing that energy, hearing that drive, hearing that passion in her voice, I was like, man, if this has her this fired up, like let me dive into this. And that's what did it. You know what I mean? Like that's what did it. And like we've said before, like now we're seeing like people like Gary, ranking up and winning trips and going to tour the office and stuff like that. It's like people are vibing with this man, and it's like the people that we're putting this in their hands, like everybody's getting a positive result. It's just been a life-changing change. And to anybody that's watching this, like you got to realize, like not all change is bad. Um, we get used to like we get in our lane and we get comfy. And for me, this was an expansion. This was stepping outside of the lane, outside of the norm. And all I'm going to say is like, thank God I did.
Yeah.
It's just been,
Well, and one thing too that you were talking about, like just on a business aspect of this, a good business that's going to grow is something, it has to have something that someone needs. So it has to solve a problem.
yep.
With 93% of Americans being metabolically unhealthy and this addressing the root cause of that, that's a great business. If
Yeah.
you're looking this just as a business aspect, if you had something that
That's
could
called
help,
business opportunity right there.
yeah, right. If you had something that could help 93% of Americans, like that's a great business. And so not only are people, you know, helping their own health and helping their loved ones, there's a massive opportunity with this because all of these people that are on all of these other things to manage those, they're now using this and being able to come off of those. So again, like it's the best of both worlds. You're helping people with their health and you're able to have an awesome business with this. So it's like a win-win.
Yeah. And that's kind of what got my attention. Like when I first saw the science call and I learned everything behind it. And then I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole, but when I learned like, 20 clinical trials, 5 US patents, like nobody else has this. Oh, by the way, it's the only all natural GLP-1 that's in the PDR and can be prescribed by your doctor. I was like,
Well, and
I'm
that's the
like,
thing too. Like I was just listening to a podcast that was talking about you can't patent supplements, you can't patent, or they said you can't patent it, and then they're like, well, you can, but it's really hard to. Well,
yep.
guess what? These are patented. They're
Yeah.
in the PPR. They have the clinical studies. Like it's
Yeah.
all fact.
Yeah. And those are literally all the things that got my attention where I was like, as a marketer, I've been a marketer for many, many, many years, even beyond, digital marketing and making money online. Like prior to that, I've been in retail management. So I've just always been around marketing and how do we advertise something? How do we sell something? How do we, sell something to the masses and generate sales? And when I saw that like this fixes, well, I can't say the word fix, but this addresses
Yeah.
a major, major problem. And 99.9% of people have no idea what this is. I was like, holy opportunity, like holy opportunity. So I saw that and then like I wanted in on it myself so I could take it. And it's just, it just made so much sense. And, all the realizations, all the, feelings and emotions and, physical and mental that I've had over the last 7+ weeks has just been like just total game changer, you know. And I've even had some people like reach out to me, they're like, oh, like you're a traitor, and it's like I don't care, like, and not that I don't care about you or people or whatever, but it's just like I just said, like not all change is bad. And you know, we grow and we adapt and we learn and we develop. And I'm just gonna say, like, thank goodness somebody introduced this to me, because it's changing my life
Yeah.
and I feel great. Everyone that's touching it is feeling great. And we're helping people financially, we're helping people physically, and it's just been awesome.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
feel freaking great about that.
yeah. Well, and I think one thing too, a lot of people that I've talked to are like, I'm not a salesperson, or I have not been in sales. That's not been my thing. I don't feel like I'm a salesperson. I don't feel like I'm really good at that. But I just share what has helped me, and it has been working. And so that's the thing that a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I could do the business part. If this has helped you, then you can do the business, because it's just sharing with people. Like, how many people do you recommend your favorite restaurant to? Like, have you ever
Yeah.
gotten paid by the restaurant? No. But this, you can help tell people what your favorite thing is, something that has helped you. And that's honestly most of the people that order from me. I don't know. I've never met them, and I'm just sharing honestly, truly what has helped me, and I want to help others. And it's been able to grow.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've literally had neighbors walk up to me and go, "Whatever you're doing, where do I get it?" Like, I didn't have to say, "Hey, I'm hosting a home party.
Yeah.
Come on over. We're gonna sample this." Like, didn't have to do any of that. Didn't have to pitch them. Didn't have to sell them. They literally just saw me and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I literally was holding this, and I was like, I just drink this. It's like the shots, but you drink it and it's natural." And they're like, "Where do I get it?" I was like, "You got your phone on you?" I'm like, "Yeah, go to this site." And they're like, I'm like, "Yeah, that's it right there." "Okay, I'm gonna go order some." I was like, easiest sale ever. You know, and
Well, it's like I was talking to somebody the other day that I am incredibly close to, and she's been struggling with acid reflux and hiatal hernia, like several times a week, getting hiatal hernias, putting her out the rest of the day, where she just has to lay down and can't do anything. And she's very big into supplements, very big into health, very holistic. Um, and I was like, okay, listen, like, and I mean, we're close enough that she knows every single thing I've done in the past, and kind of is the one that's like, oh my gosh, there you go again. And I was like, yeah,
like the
okay, I'm gonna get on my
overprotective parent.
soapbox. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a minute and take it however you want, because I am so not a salesperson either. Like I clam up. In fact, I've reached out to Sheridan and Kirsty, like I don't know how many times, and I'm like, help me close the sell, Kirsty. Like I don't know what to say. I'm just not. But like I was like, this is what it's doing, and this is what it can help you with. And how much are you spending on your supplements every week or month? And it was more than what this is. And I was like, it's worth a shot. Like, just get try. She's like, well, I can maybe try it till the end of the year and see if I'm feeling better. And I was like, it has a 90-day money back guarantee. Like, if it doesn't work, you can get your money back after 90 days. And so she did. She ordered and she was supposed to get it this week. And I'm like, I'm so stoked, because I'm like, this could like actually, instead of taking antacids or being on acid reflux medicine for the rest of her life, like this could really help with that and like fix some of those issues. And like it wasn't me like selling her the product. I wasn't being salesy. I wasn't like, I wasn't. It was just saying, listen, this can really help you, and it can, like, just try. So
It's kind of like I'm sure one of these will get Shannon on here, but and I'm sure Shannon can tell the story a lot better than I can. But you know, Shannon's dropped. I don't even know what the total weight is now. It's probably like either like 16 or 18 pounds or whatever it is. You know, using the protocol, and her boss noticed, and her
mhm.
boss was like, "What are you doing?" And she said the same thing. She's like, "I'm just drinking this," and then I think her boss said something like, why haven't you told me about it? And then her boss got on it. Her boss lost 10 pounds. And I think it was like 2 weeks or something like that. So it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just so easy to talk about. It's easy to consume. It's easy to use. It's easy to talk about. You don't have to be salesy. And by the way, like it, let me give you like a perfect example here too. So when it comes to the business, I remember it was like our very first week we did a Zoom call with Trent. And this is also more realizations that I had, more things that got my attention in the very beginning. But Trent was like, and for those of you guys that are watching and have like no idea who Trent Trent is one of our business partners. He's considered our upline. He's up above Joe and Sheridan. And Trent was like, hey, let me show you guys some things. And he shows us his back office. And oh, by the way, Trent has 9,000 customers. So for those of you guys that have a calculator, talk about a need, filling a need in the marketplace. 9,000 customers times $25. Okay. You guys do the math. And that's like consistently coming in recurring income. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Right. And Trent goes, okay, this is what happened to me when I first got started. So he's telling his story. And he said, I was given these videos, and his sponsor, Rav, basically said, here, like, go do these videos. Then go do them again. Then go do them again. And Trent started doing the videos, and he did them for like 30 days. And he's like, this ain't working. I don't feel like this is working. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just doing the thing every single day, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. And then it was somewhere around like 40 to 45 days or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden, he posted a video before he went to bed one night. And then the next morning, he just woke up and his video went crazy and he started getting sales. And Trent said to us after he shared that story, he's like, here's the video folder. Go make these videos, then go make them again, then go make them again, and stay consistent every single day. Do this for a minimum of 60 days. So that was the instruction. And I'm going to tell you, if you guys get started with us, I'm going to tell you the same exact thing. Here's your 10 videos. Go make these, then go make them again. Stay consistent for a minimum of 60 days. Real life, I went into that same video folder. I started making the videos, posting them on TikTok, posting them here on Facebook, post them on YouTube. And I did that consistently, still doing that consistently. It's been about 45, 50 days, same as Trent. And all of a sudden, I was getting, maybe a dozen views, maybe 24 views here on Facebook. And now my videos, I've had a couple of videos that have gone north of 100,000 views. I've made this week alone, I've made 5 blind customer sales. People I have no idea who they are. They saw my content and they bought. The same exact thing that was happening to Trent is now happening to me. And it's following the same exact timeline. And I'm starting to see other people, like my customers are now starting to refer other customers. The word is starting to spread. People are starting to use the product. People are getting results. And it's just starting to cascade out. And it's like, so I want you guys to think about this. Like if you're looking for simplicity in a business, and I know like we're coming up on an hour. Sharon, I want you to kind of quickly maybe echo what I'm talking about here, because you and Joe are basically doing the same thing. Like when I got started, it was here. And I didn't want to be like the marketer that I've been for the last 7 years. I wanted to literally follow a blueprint. And that's what I did. Trent was like, here, go do this. And I did it. And now I'm seeing the results. And I have people that I'm now going, here, go do that. And they're starting to see the results. So it's like the blueprint of what you have to do is very, very simple. You're simply sharing information. You're not being salesy. You don't have to do 3-way calls. You don't have to do home parties. You don't have to like pitch friends and family. You don't have to do like the stuff that most people hate and don't want to do. Sheridan, you and Joe have been doing this for a while now. And I'm sure Trent gave you the same exact guidance. You guys went out there, did the thing, you're ranked up. You're now doing this full time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been awesome just because, I mean, it was hard at first. Again, if you've never done social media, it is stepping out of a comfort zone. It is change. And so that was a hard thing for my husband and I to do. But we knew that that's kind of the process to really grow this business. And so we went into it to like, okay, we're just doing this. That's what they said to do. We'll do this. And it has grown. And so my husband, his account, like, again, if you just look at our accounts, we didn't come into this to like be influencer type people, but people are just following. They want the information, they need the information, they're getting the information, and we're sharing what's helping, and sales are coming in because people understand. Once they understand a little bit of the background of what the problem is, then this is the solution. It bridges that gap. That's the bridge that helps them get from their problems to the solution. And so it really has been amazing. You know, he quit his corporate job, and just this last month, we, you know, made back what he was making on his corporate check. And so that was a big win after him quitting. And it's just like, okay, you know what, we're doing the things and it's working. But it is that consistency with the products. If you want help with your health, you need to be consistent. With the business, you need to be consistent.
Yep. Simple stuff. And, you know, I know for me, that was one of the things that, like, when I saw the team training, when I saw what to do, I'm like, this is simple. Like,
Yeah.
here's your videos, go do it. I'm like, that's pretty simple. Anybody could do this. You know, Celeste, I'm sure you've seen, you know, really quick. I'm sure obviously you've been through past team training programs and everything. And then, you know, basically when you're given a folder, like, how much more simple is this compared to what you've done in the past?
Oh my goodness. Like,
Love that.
not only am I not a salesperson, I'm not incredibly creative either. So like to be able like to think of my own things to say, um, forget it. Like but to be able to like follow a script, to follow a step-by-step process, and like that training takes you through step by step. Okay, do this, do this. And here's an example. Copy this example. Say these things. You know, it's like it takes all of the guesswork out of everything. And I mean, if you can follow a step-by-step instruction, then you can totally do it. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, boom, look at that. Coming up on the hour, guys. Celeste, Sheridan, thank you so much for taking time away from your family and coming to hang out with this dude right here. Appreciate that. And everyone that watches live now or is watching the replay, thank you guys for watching. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, reach out to any of us here and let us know what questions you have. But we're happy to help you out, and we're happy to answer those questions. And if anything, if you know, are even just interested in metabolic health at all, I would suggest, you know, maybe the business isn't for you, but minimum, I mean, you got a 90-day money back guarantee. It's backed by doctors. It's in their PDR. You can't miss with this. So just try it, get on it, experience it, feel it for yourself. Remember, every single person that we've introduced this to is getting a positive result. Those are some pretty damn good odds. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on another live really, really soon. And
thanks, Daniel.
I just got to figure out how to end this. There we go. Okay. Take care.